Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Backpacktrader training room for Tuesday, January 30th, 2024. Please note the required risk disclosure. This room is for educational and information purposes only. It is not to be considered individual financial advice. Trading of this type carries substantial risks and should only be attempted with funds that you can afford to do without. All right, that is all for today. And good morning, Mark. Good to see you this morning. Please do say hello in the chat. Nice to know who's here. This is the only session this week. I'm going to be unavailable the rest of the week. So we'll come back next Tuesday. Okay, crude got it done this morning. We have the short that didn't trigger. Prior long was too early. So this one goes, target 2 is our minimum 10 ticks, so that's our first actionable target. We pick up targets 2 and 3 for 10 and 24, or 10 and 14 rather. 24 ticks net on the morning and a one and done session. So we will release that one. Unleaded has not been doing as well this morning. Started off with a full loss, unfortunately. Start time, we never did get into the long, so our first trade was the short. That was a full loss, unfortunately. With the 54 tick risk, that would be a 108 tick loss. And we then pick up trade at 906. And the market is just about to open. The YM is flat. Soybeans is just below a get in sync entry at 97 1/4. So we picked up target 2 of 51 and 37 on the trailer for 88 ticks, leaving us down 20. We come with a full loss on the short for another 98, so we're down 118. Pick up a long. That's 1, 2, 3. This is 4. Doesn't quite get to money management. Stops and reverses just 8 tick risk to the stop and reverse adjusted entry. So that's a loss of 16. So that puts us down 134. And then we have another 88 tick loss on the short. $42, so down 122 entering the short, which will be our 6th trade, and that's our last trade of the morning. And the market did open. Looks like we've probably had a fair chance of getting into that soybeans trade. Had 11 seconds on after our start time before the bar closed just a couple of ticks above, so good chance that you'd be in that trade, and that gets 2 positions off at target 2. Target 1 was too small, and one at position at target 3. So that gives us 2 at 9 for 18, and 12 is 30 ticks on the targets, and we are currently trailing at 97.5. Balance line, or the signal line, just came up through the entry. So the stop should move up on this bar to, looks like, probably about 98.5. And we get a partial. Looks like, did we get target 1 on that? Target 2 traders got a partial, so you're still down pretty bad. Target 1 traders were in even worse shape. So even if you picked up, looks like target 1 trader might have gotten a, yeah, it looks like we might have gotten a target 1 there. But done with the unleaded session, and that was a losing session. The back and forth on the short side got us. And definitely in this short trade on the micro Russell on Catapult. Still flat on the YM. And stopping out for a couple of ticks after getting both targets 3 and 4. So winner on trade number 1 there. Now let's see if we can get to the micro NQ. And there is a long trade on the micro Russell. There's the micro NQ. We'll wait 2 more minutes roughly. The Russell takes the long trade. And we've gone 2 ticks beyond our target 1, which is what it took for 14, for a 14 tick minimum. So we are at break even now to 11.2. Pound Aussie got a target 1 winner and 1 pip on the remaining 4 positions. So 1 and done session there. Getting our first trade on the long, that got to 12 tick minimum target 1. 12 pip minimum target 1 rather. So 1 and done there, stepping aside. Crude heading up solidly upward. Unfortunately, the unleaded just wasn't willing to follow it along, and we got caught up in some noise. getting some losing shorts. And the target 3 win on the Russell. So that's 2 winners with very small trailers. And soybeans up to 1,200.75 on the trailer. So trailer up above the 12 ticks of target 3 now. And a short setup on the YM. And triggering the short, adjustment around the 20 would probably be a good idea. 43, and we'd have to go to 39 to get around that. And since it had come down to the entry prior to that, yep, and it's definitely in now. The Russell with another trade that has gone to money management as well, and that's a break-even stop out. So 2 wins and a break-even on the micro Russell. And we are in the micro NQ trade as well. That has pulled back after our 8:34 exchange time start time, 4 minutes after start, but that's the exchange time is central time on the micro NQ. Even my timestamps are Eastern, but it trades out of Chicago. And soybeans came close to the stop, but still surviving. Break-even stop out on the M2K micro Russell with a couple of tick loss actually, because we would make a major key level adjustment on that. That entry was, looks like 2000, yeah, 099. So 2010 would have been major key level, so 10.1 would have been our break-even stop, but we did hit that intra-bar. Calculator's following because it only moves the stop at the close of a bar. So it didn't recognize the break-even stop out. And the calculator is out of the Russell trade. And soybean still surviving. Stopped still at 1,203/4. Micro NQ in the long. Soybeans long, the YM is short. And everything else is flat. Long trade setup on the micro Russell. And that just triggered in. That should have been plenty of time to get your order in on that. Trade number 4 on the micro Russell already. This is a larger than normal trade, so we'll go to break even as soon as we hit target 1. May start trailing before we get there in this case. Yep, there's a trailer coming up at 0.99 on the micro Russell and hitting target 1, so that will bring us to break even at 10.7. And stopping out at 10.7. So another break even. And we have news coming up at 10 o'clock. Consumer confidence and JOLTS job openings, both red label reports. So while I would stay in trades that I'm already in, I wouldn't open any new trades right around 10 o'clock. So I would hold off on the crude mini session this morning for 2 to 5 minutes. Okay, it looks like we'll go our full 6 trades this morning on the micro Russell. There's the next trade as a short, 0.84. Russell working down just above session lows. YM in a fairly tight range this morning, just above session open. And we did hit the entry at 0.84. So the micro Russell is short. Soybean stopped out at 1,203/4. Let's see, what did we earn on the trailer there? And 14 ticks, so 44 ticks, 11 points, $550. for a 4-position trade on soybeans. With 1 contract each on the 4 positions. Ooh, full stop out and now a long trade on the micro Russell. Possible that you didn't get filled on the short. If not, this would be trade number 5. Otherwise, it's trade number 6. Need to get 2 ticks beyond target 1, so we need to get to 14 even for money management, for break to move the break even stop. 14 tick minimum for break even. Everybody's being quiet this morning. One tick from target 1, and there's target 1. We need 2 more ticks to get to our break even, and there we are. So break even stop at 12.8. and pushing up through target 2. And a win number 3. 3 wins, 2 break evens, and 1 loss will definitely have us positive on the micro Russell this morning. I am taking heat. Target 4 on the micro Russell, 13.9 for the stop. Micro NQ still just hanging around the entry. And the Russell stops out just above target 1. And best trailer of the morning, but another target 3 and 4 win. So 2 wins for target 3 and 4, 1 for target 3 only. A couple of break-even trades, and 1 loss. So winning session on the Micro Russell this morning. So we have the Micro NQ, the YM. YM still in its first trade of the morning. YM also traded out of Chicago, so that would be on Central Time for market for exchange time. So it would be coming up on 9 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock exchange time on the YM. Crude coming up on its 10 a.m. mini session. It looks like it has gone too far on that reversing short trade. So we'll look for a new trade. YM long, or I'm sorry, YM short and the Micro NQ long. Another roughly 5 minutes before the crude 10 a.m. mini session. And everything else is done. Everything's been positive. Everything that's done has been positive except for the unleaded chart this morning. 1 and done on soybeans, 9 a.m. crude mini session, and the pound Aussie. 6 trades on the Micro Russell. With 3 wins, a loss, and 2 break-evens. YM taking heat. Micro NQ starting to take a little bit of heat now. YM challenging its session high. One tick and touched the session high, so we'll see where it goes. Stop is a couple of ticks above the session high. 478. And there we go. Full stop out on the YM. So the YM is flat. Less than a minute to go to the 10 a.m. crude mini session. 25 seconds. That's right, we had the news just came out at 10 o'clock. Another short trade on the YM. Full stop on the MNQ long and jumping into a short. I start saying with the news there, I would stand down two red label reports. I'd stand down the full 5 minutes. And obviously with that particular move, I wouldn't be taking any of those. So we have a full loss on the YM, a loss on the micro NQ, and we're going to wait to 10:05 to start trading the crude mini session. And we'll wait until 10:05 to jump back. Nope, the micro NQ just went to money management. So that trade is off the table with the stand down. Well, there's a 2-minute stand down. We got to get in sync long. On crude, but I wouldn't jump in quite yet, I don't think. And the YM is heading down for its money management. Crude 3 minutes in, and it's heading for money management on this long trade. Micro NQ is out of its short trade, and now a long trade on the micro NQ. We're still not out of our 5-minute, beyond our 5-minute wait time, so although the market seems to have settled down somewhat anyway. All right, 20 seconds to jump back in. Get in sync long on crude, get in sync short on the YM. And that would be an entry to the YM. And we have a get in sync long on the micro NQ. And picking up the long on crude. YM stop up at 481. Russell and Micro NQ both coming off session lows. YM coming up off of its session open, heading toward its session high. And we have a stop and reverse on crude. at 722. Or 77.22, excuse me. Two-tick adjustment from 24 as I stop and reverse, and that did trigger in. So that means we're going to come down to 77.12 for our money management. So our target will be 77.07, target 2. That's a valid long trade on the micro NQ. Calculator's not tracking because it hit both the entry and the stop on the same bar. But it went to the stop before it came up to the entry. And money management on crude. Yeah, just an 8 tick loss on the crude stop and reverse. And bouncing off the 50, we'll need to push down through the 50. 50's currently at 09. We need to get down to 07 for target. And target 1 will be enough, or target 2 rather, is 15 ticks. So that will put us positive 7 at minimum. Or actually positive 8 with the break-even stop. Let's see, did we get down to 07 there? It's like 08 to me. Nope, we got down to 07. So that is target 2. And that will be a 2 and done session. We will be positive. Stop is at 21 with the stop and reverse adjustment. YM coming back down to the entry again. All right, we came down to 07 again. Target 3 is 01, and we just hit that, so we pick up 15 and 21, 30, 36, less our 8, so we're positive 28 on that session. So all we have, that completes the crude mini session. So YM and micro NQ are the only things left. Unfortunately, in the U.S., we don't get to trade the metals pairs like that. The U.S. regulators won't allow us to trade in that particular market. In the XAU, XAG, that sort of those pairs are not available to us. Gold and silver crosses, a few others like that. We only get to trade the pure currency pairs. Now, there are other ways to trade that, not quite as flexible here. We can trade gold futures, the gold ETF, some things like that. I really haven't looked at those this morning. I really am not looking particularly at, I don't typically look at gold, but it's not a, we've definitely put some of these strategies on it, and it does, most often does fairly well. But it's something you have to test, and it has some, it's usually better in some different time frames. So it takes a little bit of testing to get there. And of course, there's only so much room on the screen at any given time for examples for this room. Yeah, micro NQ took a little dip there, but it's come back. Still just hanging around the entry. YM trying to push down toward money management. I don't think it's going to necessarily cause chaos today, but the news that came out at 10 o'clock Eastern definitely affected the market, but not for a long time. It had a short-term effect, but I think it's kind of back into the pattern it had kind of was already working through. And the YM hitting money management. Not quite to target 1 yet. Target 1 is 410. And that's where we got to. So yes, target 1. And that's a winner. Our first trade was a 35 tick risk. So that's a 70 tick loss. So how big was our... That was a 32 tick target 1, so we still need another 38 ticks. So we need the trailer to come down below target 1. So about 404 is where we're looking for our break-even point. Micro NQ still stuck at its entry in between the 200 and the EMA and the 50 EMAs. Consolidation at the moment on the Micro NQ, and the YM got down to looks like 305, missing. Well, we need to get the stop down there. So it's going to have to move down below the 200 to get the stop down to the 200. All right, looks like our stop is at 436. It's kind of buried in the 20 SMA. Okay, the micro NQ taking another run at the 50 EMA. Yeah, let's see. YM has been 478 for the high and 386 for the low, so not quite even a 100-point range today. So pretty tight. And down stop to 431. And now the micro NQ is testing the 200 EMA, as is the YM. Russell is setting new session lows. So the market tending to look like it's going down. And that's a stop and reverse at, call it 31 and a quarter. And make it, yeah, that's going to be the full stop out on the long. Yeah, 31 and 3/4. So just a couple of ticks and should be in it. YM stopped to 418. Need about 14 more ticks to get to break even on the session. 14 more ticks on the trailer, that is. Need to get down to 404 with the trailer for break even. And another full loss on the short. So that actually is our 3 losses on the micro NQ this morning. That ends that session. So the only thing left is the YM this morning. And that just stopped out at 414? No, 416. Let's see where that is. 418, yep. So we're down 14 ticks. So we need another trade. That's just 2 trades in. But I am going to have to get on to another appointment, so I'm going to have to call it a morning here at 10:30. That will do it for today, unless there are other questions. That will be my only session this week. I'm going to be unavailable tomorrow and Thursday. So we will see everybody back here at 9:30 Eastern U.S. time on next Tuesday, February 6th. All right, folks. I don't see any questions, so we will see you next week. Everybody have a good week.